How's it going, everyone? And as always, welcome back to Continues to Tick. Friends, how often do we find ourselves chasing a state of happiness? Is it endlessly, until we die? I ask because as a younger version of myself, I had always imagined a world that included this state of happiness, a point in life where problems no longer would find me or existed, and that once reached, at that point, I would possibly just be and be happy forever. But as I gradually got older, and the older I continue to get, I'm realizing that most possibly, this state actually may not exist. I can't seem to find it, or as the closer I do get to the actual mark of where it would be, the further then once again it becomes, realizing, actually, I'm unable to reach it. What do you say, friends? Maybe the world's greatest chase. I guess we can't also reach rainbows either. Have you ever tried chasing one before? Don't those make us happy too? Actually, when I think of it, very similar in feeling to chasing happiness. But let's say the state of happiness did exist for a moment. Would it only be due to ignorance, however, or the drowning out of our life's actual, natural pattern, which is to always encounter problems, as problems always exist? I feel as though the joy of forever happiness is truly an ongoing battle between us and it working against us, the opposite current in the tide, if you will. As you swim one way, it always tries to wash away your progress, and you with it. I mean, as humans, just to live in this life will mean we'll naturally always face problems, and they don't even have to be purely negative. Many problems arrive just as the definition of the word, something to be solved, or a matter or situation regarded as unwelcome, needing to be dealt with, but in a rather stretched out way, a problem we are guaranteed to typically face each day, no matter the day's plan, is our constant need to survive and live. I mean, it often seems like we live today, like we also believe we can never die, and really, it may no longer feel like it did for our past ancestors, but we are truly always in a constant state of survival, even in today's time. So through this, how can we actually find forever happiness though, as our current natural state of dealing is actively working through problems or the threat of death? Like, no matter how civilized we have become as a society, we are still at the root of our existence, trying to live each day in order to see the next one. Do we just ignore the stakes of survival to be happy? What would be the case in endless happiness? Would fear simply cease to exist? But back to the initial question at hand, friends. Does happiness exist in a forever state? To answer my own question, I don't believe it does. I believe it's something worked for, something that comes in moments, and something transitory. My belief is that happiness truly comes and goes in our life, similar to the urge to drink water and finding that water to drink. When thirsty, once water is obtained and then drunk, we are satisfied for a bit, but then once again we'll need more. But we can't drink water forever, to relinquish a soon-to-be following thirst once again. And similar to this, moments do make us happy. Hugging a loved one, having a child, buying your favorite meal at your favorite restaurant, receiving a pay raise at work, living a luxurious lifestyle, having great health, having a beautiful view on a vacation. Yes, all this can make us happy, but can we be happy forever in these states? I don't believe so, as these moments are also transitory. We can't bottle them and on demand reuse them, those feelings, nor can we expect to feel them endlessly, once felt. Just like drinking the water, we no longer are thirsty following. Just like the warm embrace, we can't hold on to them forever. Either them or us need to eventually move once again. Just like having a child, they too grow up and leave, just like we one day did. left our parents, or they left us. Buying your favorite meal will eventually lead to be eaten, and with that, the food disappears. Just like receiving a pay raise is nice, inflation eventually touches it once again, or our expenses increase, and we'll need another. And living a luxurious life is amazing until you already live in a state of vacation. So where do you now vacation at that point? And just like having great health makes us happy, it often is taken for granted, or often needs ongoing work, which isn't then a joy to maintain. Can't eat pizza and chips that do make you happy every day. And then of course, just like that view on a vacation, all vacations come to an end, as a permanent vacation would no longer feel like one after some time as well. My point in saying all these examples, friends, is that similar to all of these, they all bring us happiness. They are all transient and impermanent themselves. So how can we expect to be happy forever through them? As often, immediately once felt, they slip our grasp. And because of this, we often get busy or lost on the journey of chasing this forever feeling of happiness, one after the next, and falling into the trap of pleasure-seeking behavior, when all we need to do is accept that happiness is a state that comes and goes, and it's okay to feel sadness, feel moments of emptiness and loneliness in between, as we soon can realize it's actually contentment that we are truly after, what I am truly after. As to be content means being satisfied, or to accept where we are as adequate, despite wanting more or better. It's so much easier in life to love this path with contentment than chasing happiness. This life is long, friends, and it's incredibly hard to navigate indeed, to walk our path. But the blueprint itself to living a life with purpose and meaning and with success is actually quite simple, really. The key is to never stop growing in all aspects of your life. And I hope to continue to explain this path over time. And now making our way further still into this week's video. Here we are once again in the Jesse's cash flow portfolio, which is my financial portfolio. Or if you've been here for a while, you know it's specifically a dividend portfolio. As I continue to work on my financial pillar, this is just one of the aspects of that area. But as you can see, we're at $55,225.34 at the conclusion of this last week. And this is on the all-time charts. This is with a total negative return of 6.08%, which equates to a total loss of $1,827.53. And the markets continue to bleed, friends. I don't know about you guys, but I did put gas literally yesterday, and I drive a 2014 Toyota Camry, and just to fill the tank was $87 here in California. That's crazy. That is insane. I mean, I have a good paying job as a registered nurse, but for people who are struggling or just getting by, how can they afford to pay for gas right now? If oftentimes people do actually need to commute for a better job. So I can't imagine commuting and spending all this money on gas. Something has to give. And as you can see, for this past week, there has been some give. Well, let me zoom in here a little closer for you to see. Because the only reason why I'm actually in the green is because I am a dividend investor. There's a market loss of $21.83, and I did earn a dividend amount of $64.51. So if it wasn't for the earned dividends, it would be a red week, nonetheless. And just to further solidify that the markets have been in an interesting downturn, as of late, this is the last year's review, down 13.15% of my portfolio, down a total loss of $6,688.79. And as you can see, for market gain, or I should say in this case market loss, would be $8,168. But again, we are a dividend investor, and this is when we shine in moments like these. So luckily, we are earning dividends, and it is noticeable. It's a pushback in these markets. And now moving into the best part, it is the dividend payouts. So here we are on October 7th, getting paid one dividend payout this last week, and it was by Chubb, but it was for $5.20, which is a noticeable amount. And then also on this same day, we had our $100 deposit. And if you've been here for a while, you know this used to be $500. I did change the strategy, as I'm also trying to save up cash for a house in these upcoming 2 to 3 years. So for every $100 I put in here, I'm still saving about $400 and putting it into a savings account. Because I do feel like in about 3, maybe 5 or less years, there's going to be a good opportunity in the housing market. That's the new strategy, and we continue to move forward with it. But here we are also on the same day with the funnel of these funds. No snowball action this week, and we invested almost everything except 1 penny of our deposit. And so that's going to be it for this week's video, friends. Progress continues to be made, not on just this portfolio, but in life as well. Some of you have been here over time and you've known that I've been in a master's program as I'm trying to open up doors in my nursing career. I see a position that I want and, it would allow me to work from home, but I need to open that door. And in order to do so, I need a master's degree. So I'm currently in the master's program, about halfway through now, and just chipping away. And on top of that, we continue to have fun, or I guess I continue to have fun with this YouTube channel. I've been changing some of the thumbnails, and I'm just experimenting a bit. I'm trying to work it so it's more in alignment with the story that I'm trying to tell on this series, which is that life is more than just finances. It's about growth in all areas of life, all areas, in order to try to be the best person that we can be. Because if you're the best person you can be, it trickles over into all aspects of your life. Because otherwise, there's no point in being rich or financially wealthy if everything else in your life has stayed the same and all you've grown in has been in money. So that's what I'm trying to avoid, and that's the story I'm ultimately trying to tell. And time will tell where it leads me. But in speaking of time, it continues to tick. We've made it through 7 days, and because of that, we have another 7 days that will likely make it through. And as always, I'll see you then, and as always, take care.